Namato Ratana Tayassa. May I pay homage to Triple Zem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. My respect goes to my parents and my teachers. Hello, good evening, everyone. So today is a Thursday, the 28th of January 2020, and this is Ajahn Sujan from Varapunya Meditation Center, Aberdeen, Scotland. As usual, I'm here with you all tonight. So today is a full moon day, which is important days in the Buddhist calendar that the Buddhist would come to the temple and attend the services and listen the talks and meditate. And monks also would take a chance to recite the different discourses and also spend more time on a practice and studies. But unfortunately, due to these circumstances, that all the services are online, and you may have seen online that there are so many programs are taking place around the world. Every temple is organizing some sort of events. So today in our center also, this morning, Ajahn Pira gave a talk on 16 different types of dreams that the Buddha talked about, and also causes of dreams, the 4 reasons of dreams. In the meanwhile, in the afternoon, Thantita Dhammo, I invited him to speak about his reflection and the Buddhism in Sri Lanka. So now this is the full moon time. Hello Emma, hello Yvonne, hello June and Sandra, Simone, Anish, Manish, and everyone. And I hope you are having a wonderful time. And as you have seen this morning, we had a little bit of a showering snow, and then throughout the day showering rain, and it's never stopped until now. So today is a full moon day, and also almost end of the January, and we were just celebrating our new year, and now we have already passed 28 days. So time flies so quickly, especially when we are busy with different duties and responsibilities. It is quite often unknowingly the time flies. Like when I came to UK, it was 15 years ago, and was in Wolverhampton, and it was just for a few months, and then the 5 months went so quickly without noticing it. And then I came back again, and it was just for a short time visit, and similarly short time visit here in Scotland carried almost 10 years now. So when you are doing something which is enjoying, then the time just flies so quickly. Yes, Emma, here also raining all day. Yes, Yvonne, so you have invented a new word, happy full moon. I like that. So tomorrow is Friday, and day after tomorrow is Saturday and Sundays. So weekends are just around the corner. Well, today I am moving on to the discourse number 4 from this Samyutta Nikaya in the Satipatthana Samyutta, the collected discourses on the Satipatthana, the establishment of mindfulness. This is the number 4. And the sutta begins in this way. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling among the Kosalans at the Brahmin village of Sala. There, the Blessed One addressed the bhikkhus thus: Bhikkhus, those bhikkhus who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to this Dhamma and discipline, should be exhorted, settled and established by you in the development of the 4 establishment of a mindfulness. What for? And here, let me give you a background here a little bit, that this is again the Kosalan, among the Kosalans. So this is, it suggests that this discourse was given among the in the country called Kosala, one of the biggest, one of the big countries and powerful countries during the time of the Buddha. And on that occasion, one of the villages where the Sala, the Brahmin priests, his village, he was the leader of that village. In that village, Buddha spoke about this. And Buddha said that having ordained new monks, and I believe that in those days after becoming a monk, senior monks didn't even thought to guide new monks to what to do and what should be done, or probably just introducing other jobs to be done, like building the huts or temples or other material accumulations. Then in that moment, Buddha probably have seen that and encouraged monks to teach, the old monks to teach the junior monks the 4 establishment of mindfulness. And which again, if you have been to the temples, particularly in the temples where meditation being as the main part of their daily routine, and normally they will have signposts, a signboard saying, a notice board saying that you can go and work building the temples, building the houses or kutis or huts, but remember to come back for the practice of a meditation and chanting. Do not make any excuses saying that I am working this and I am working that, and spend not coming to the practice of a meditation and a chanting. So that's why it's being one of the rules that every monk should take responsibility and spend time during this scheduled time at the temple, should come and practice, and also meditation and chanting. And now this we can relate to the modern day, that there are many people say that they don't have time to practice meditation because I have duties to do, I have work to do, I am living in a household life, and there are so many responsibilities that I have to take control and take responsibilities. And after finishing my office works, when I come back, then again I have a family works to do. And with this, I don't have time to practice meditation. And this is the excuse that we hear a lot, that, oh, I am busy with this, busy with that, and as a result, I don't have time to practice meditation. And this is comes here as well. Yeah? As we being a very new and just learners in the practice of a meditation, we have to make sure that we have a designated time to practice meditation. Similarly, there was when I was reading the books on Ajahn Chah, one of the great forest meditation masters, who had influenced a lot of foreigners to become a monk and following the forest traditions. One of them who is very famous is Ajahn Sumedho, who is American, ordained in this forest tradition and lived in England for over 30 years. And he about 10 years ago, he resigned as the abbot of Amravati in Hemel Hempstead. And recently, last two weeks ago, I think, he returned back to UK in Hemel Hempstead. So in this tradition, Ajahn Chah once, when he was traveling to the West, one of the gentlemen asked a question that we are a householder, and how can we manage to have time to practice meditation? And then at a time, the Ajahn Chah said that, do you have time to breathe? So practice of a meditation is basically, it's remember to pay attention to what you are doing. Breathing, such as breathing, you are doing it every day. You are having every moment. The moment when we do not breathe, we are dead. So practice of a meditation is basically aware of that breath every moment when you are breathing. So, and the practice is like that. And whether do you have a timer or not, it's not about the practice or the time that is about, but it's about your attitude, about your view on the practice, so that you can be mindful, you can practice, and you will spare some times in your day before you go to bed or after you got up from the bed. You'll be spending time to practice few moments. I'm not asking for 1 hour like the monks do. I'm asking only like a few minutes. A few minutes of the practice is good enough. And gradually, as you practice, you will see the benefit of it, and gradually you will be able to develop your understanding. And here again, similarly, in a teaching to the monks, and it has been a long debate, and also still being a debate among the monastics, that sometimes when they become a monk, even for the temporarily, in the monasteries, normally they spend time doing other jobs rather than study and practice. And this is what I think Buddha's instruction is so clear, that we have to teach new junior monks practice of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, and exhorting them and settling them and establishing in the 4 foundations of mindfulness, developing that. So the second passage was, what for? Come, friends, dwell contemplating the body in the body, ardent, clearly comprehending, unified, with a limpid mind, concentrated with one-pointed mind, in order to know the body as it really is. So here, this is again similar to the previous talks, previous discourses. Here, only 2 different things here is unified. So your mind is unified, and then your mind is completely joined in. And then your mind is concentrated. And with that concentrated mind, your mind become a one-pointedness. When your mind become a one-pointedness, and these practice of a one-pointedness and a concentrated mind is simply to understand our own body. So that's why it says, in order to know the body as it really is. Now, normally people say that I know my body. Do we really know our body? No. This body is so vast. It's so complex. Even the physiologists spend so many years studying about it. In a physical level, we still not know much. That's why we become sick. We got a headache, we got a stomach ache, and we got pains and aches all around. And we still do not know what is the cause of it. Yeah? Further on, we do not know our own body, and as a result of that, we tend to hold on the view that I will be alive forever. Okay? In the meanwhile, we do not have a control over this body at all. Yeah? And the practice of a meditation by contemplating our body is one form that helps us to bring mind concentrated. Normally, our mind is scattered all around, restless. But when we start to meditate and contemplating on this body, mind becomes one-pointed. As mind becomes one-pointed, mind is unified, and that moment it helps us to understand clearly what this body is about and whether it belongs to us or not. If you've been following my previous talks on the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, after the Buddha got enlightened, he was traveling, and then after 5 disciples ordained by hearing the first discourse, and the second discourse was the Anatta Lakkhana Sutta, was explaining about how non-self is our body, and that is how we will be able to understand a similar way, and we will have a right understanding about our own body. And further on, saying, dwell contemplating feeling in feeling, in order to know feeling as they really are. So here again, sometimes we will have different feelings, pleasant feeling, unpleasant feelings, neutral feelings, and physical feeling, mental feeling, like that. And in order to understand that feeling, it's not you are diverting your attention from that feeling, or you are just ignoring it. No. Buddha is saying the practice of this meditation is you are not neglecting it, you are not pushing it away, you are not grasping it away, you are not grasping to it, but you are knowing it, contemplating on it. So when you're practicing, the moment when you have a pleasant sensation, you are watching it. You are not going and attached to the pleasant sensation and grasping and holding on to it. Similarly, negative sensations, you are not pushing it away. You are not resenting it. The moment when you resent, that's the habit pattern that we have been doing, because we crave for the pleasant sensations. Okay, pleasant sensation. And that's why when we contemplate on the feeling, not rejecting, not pushing it away. So that's why there is the more you hide it, the feeling becomes more. The more you push it, feelings become more harder. Here, whereas in the practice of a mindfulness meditation, you are observing it objectively. Yeah, you're observing it objectively, then you will understand that this feeling arises, remains, and vanishes. So it's called Upada, Ditthi, and Bhanga. Upada means rising, so there is a rising of the feeling, and this feeling will remain for a certain period of a time, so the Ditthi, and then vanishes. So it will vanish. So we will have this understanding, this characteristics of this feeling. So that's why we have to contemplate on that. In order to contemplate on that feeling, again, we have to have a concentrated mind, one-pointed mind, unified mind, as here the instruction says, unified, concentrated, and with one-pointedness. Similarly, dwell contemplating mind in the mind, in order to know mind as it really is. Now here again, when we're contemplating on our mind, normally we think that our mind is one, and that's me, and that's I am. But when we contemplate on that, we will understand. And this contemplation, again, it's not like, okay, now I'm going to contemplate and I will be able to contemplate. No, it doesn't happen like that. In order to contemplate or penetrate on that, our mindset, we have to have a calm, peaceful, and concentrated mind. And with that concentrated mind, when we look at our own minds, we will see that our mind, or so-called consciousness, is conditioned by so many other factors. So many other factors. It is conditioned by other factors. Mind arises with depending on something else. Without the object, there is no mind. And we will be able to understand that. The moment when we understood that mind is always conditioned, then we will have right understanding that every conditioned phenomena is subject to change. So that's why our mind always changing based on the subject, based on the relationship with the environment, which again, a few days ago, I was explaining about how we change our emotion. Our emotion changes based on the environment and the situation we are in. So here, mind also like that. And then further, the last one, dwell contemplating phenomena in phenomena, in order to know phenomena as they really are. Now here again, we know in a conventional level that everything is changing. And this change we know by seeing things that is changing alone. But in a deep down level, we do not understand yet. And in order to understand in a true reality of this change or impermanence nature, then we have to see in a deeper inside our own self. I think one of the nights I have explained that when you meditate, in a gross level, it is difficult to see. Like you are looking at the wood, you are looking at the cups, you are looking at the stones, looking at the trees. You will not see. You can't penetrate or comprehend that this is a changing. But over the period of a time, we exactly know that this is changing. But when we want to know in a very subtle way, we have to know in our own minds first. When you meditate, what happens is that gradually you will be able to penetrate on mindset. And as we penetrate on a mindset, gradually we see that how it is changing gradually, and how much it is conditioned with the world, and how much are we conditioning to the world. And this conditioning and conditioned basically it is based on our so-called hindrances, that we always want to have essential pleasures. And then when we do not have those sensual pleasures, we normally get resentment or anger and hate. So like that. And these will be the conditioning, and we will be able to comprehend it in a very subtle level with the practice of a meditation. And that is why first we have to attain the concentrated mind. And here the Buddha's instruction to the senior monks is basically saying that whenever you have a junior monks, go and teach them about how to contemplate on these 4 foundations. And when you are contemplating on first of all, make sure that you are concentrating on each and every factors until you gain unified mind, concentrated mind, one-pointed mind. When your mind is one-pointedness on that object, then you will see that in a real truth, and that is the true Dhamma. And further, the next passage said that those bhikkhus who are trainees, who have not attained their mind's ideal, who dwell aspiring for the unsurpassed security from bondage, they too contemplating the body. After you have introduced them to practice, they will heedlessly go and practice. And with that practice, practicing with this, they will gain. And similarly, as the trainee monks are practicing these 4 foundations of mindfulness, the next passage suggests that even though someone who are liberated or attain the arhats, they also practice these 4 foundations of mindfulness in their daily life. So this passage says, those bhikkhus who are arhats, those who are arhats, that means liberated ones, whose taints are destroyed. So their old taints, asavas, been destroyed, who have lived the holy life, so their life is fulfilled, done what had to be done. So the action that is to eliminate or overcome this greed, hatred and delusion, they have done. Laid down the burden, so there is no burdens at all, reach their own goal and utterly destroy the feathers of existence. So there is nothing that will hold them to return back to this cycle of birth and experience. Now completely liberated, but yet it says, they too dwell contemplating the body in the body, urgent, clearly comprehending, unified with the limpid mind, concentrated with a one-pointed mind, detached from the body. So as you have fully understood, you will be able to detach from your body, feeling, mind and phenomena. And so and that is how it leads to a person to be liberated. We will be able to detach, and we will not have this craving and attachment to our own self and our own feelings, our own mind or thinking and processing like that. So because those bhikkhus who are newly ordained, not long gone forth, recently come to the Dhamma and discipline, should be exhorted, settled and established by you in the development of these 4 establishment of mindfulness. So this is the instruction by the Buddha to the monks. And here again we have to remember that the 4 establishment of a mindfulness, which is contemplating on a body, feeling, mind and a phenomena, is basically we have to learn as a trainee. And also even someone is liberated, they still are living with this practice for establishment of mindfulness. So that's why it's a very essential in our day-to-day practice. So thank you everyone. I end here for tonight's reading, and thank you everyone for listening, and may you all be well and happy. May the Triple Gem bless you. In a few moments time we'll be evening chanting and guided meditation. You are most welcome to join with us. Until then, good night and see you shortly. Sadhu.